The Big 12 down to 10 teams, but can't call itself the Big 10 because the real Big 10 now has 12 teams. Mark Rogers TV on college football. We can't wait for the 2011 season to begin in just about 10 days. We're rating the BCS conferences from worst, the Big East, to number 5, the ACC, and now this edition at number 4, the Big 12. Nebraska's gone, the third best program in the conference, the second best team, and gaining steam under head coach Bo Pelini in Lincoln. Nebraska gone. Also gone, Colorado. Not a huge loss on the surface going to the Pac-12, but we all know what Colorado has accomplished on the field in the past. The big news in the spring was Texas was leaving the Big 12. That would have blown apart this league. Texas stays, maintaining the Big 12. The rumor just a few weeks ago was that Texas A&M had a deal with the SEC. That almost went through. That would have been a huge loss, but Texas A&M stays in the Big 12. So this conference is on shaky ground down the road, but for 2011, still a very, very strong football league with Texas and Oklahoma, of course, the headliners. Off the field, Texas rules the Big 12 financially, i.e. the Longhorn Network, which is launching in just about a week. But make no mistake about it, on the field, Oklahoma's number 1 in 2011, by some across the country, but certainly the best team in the Big 12. Led by Landry Jones at quarterback, 38 touchdowns last year, 12 picks, 66% completion percentage. Landry Jones is a Heisman candidate, and he's got Ryan Broyles back at wide receiver. DeMarco Murray is gone at running back, but he'll be replaced by a trio, talented trio. The headliner there is Roy Finch. Back at cornerback is Jamel Fleming, back from legal problems to head maybe the best secondary in the country. Oklahoma, very strong on defense as well. They are number 1. Texas, 5-7 last year. They've got to be back to some degree. They've got way too much talent, especially on defense, where they were 6th in the country despite losing 7 games last year. But offensively, Texas, not the explosive team with the playmakers that we've seen in the 2000s. At quarterback, Garrett Gilbert, 10 touchdowns, 17 picks last year. He's got to step it up, and he's got to get some help from his offensive line. That Texas offensive line was horrible in 2010. There's got to be better recruits in Texas. Those beefy big guys up front, they've got a lot of them in Texas. Why aren't they coming to Austin? Okay, Texas A&M is everybody's chic pick with Ryan Tannehill back at quarterback. 65%, 13 TDs, 6 picks. Von Miller's gone on defense, but Texas A&M looks to take advantage of a weakened schedule with a very good football team. The outside shots go to 2 explosive offenses with Oklahoma State and Missouri. Oklahoma State, Brandon Weeden, possibly the best quarterback, even considering Landry Jones. Weeden possibly the best quarterback in the league. 4,200 yards last year with 34 touchdowns, and he hooks up with Justin Blackman. He had like video type numbers last year. 1,782 yards out of the wide receiver spot, 20 touchdowns. Weeden and Blackman, probably the best quarterback wideout combo in the country. Now for Missouri, they've got to replace Blaine Gabbert at quarterback. James Franklin, the sophomore, steps up. He won a 3-man battle at quarterback. He's just a sophomore, completed 11 of 14 last year. He will be looking over his shoulder, but Missouri is loaded on offense, and the Tigers tough on defense. They've got a chance to make some noise. Okay, the big games in this conference. The statement games for the Big 12 to legitimize its ranking at number 4 by Mark Rogers TV, and also make a statement that it's still solid in football, and more than just Texas and Oklahoma. We've got Baylor taking on TCU, of course, the Horned Frogs, one of the top 3 teams in the country last year. Also, big games for Texas out of conference against BYU, and going out to Los Angeles to take on UCLA. The Bruins, a marginal team, but they embarrassed the Longhorns last year, 34-12 in Austin. So that's a big revenge game for Texas. We also have the A&M Arkansas game. That should be a great one. The Hogs won it last year, but these games pale in comparison to the huge one. September 19th, we've got Of course, Oklahoma going to Florida State. The Sooners routed the Noles last year, but the Noles, despite the loss of Christian Ponder, should be primed for this game with E.J. Manuel at quarterback. If he doesn't turn over the football, the Noles have a great team and should make a run at a national championship. Oklahoma trying to do just that. And despite what the outcome of that game is in mid-September, Oklahoma rules the Big 12 again in 2011. Would love to hear what you have to say on Mark Rogers TV as we rate the BCS conferences. Once again, the Big East at 6, the ACC at 5, and the Big 12 at number 4.